Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 2, which is Managing Issues Supply Chain Management. The company we choose Toyota Motor Corporation, and from our lecturer, Dr. Zawia, and my team members, NURAQILLA and Aiman Johari. So just go to the next slide. For this slide, real-world vulnerability exposed in Toyota. For the first one is agile IT, just in time, and weakness cybersecurity towards supply chain. So this one dependence for minimize efficiency, and the other point is cyber attack. For example, like Toyota domestic to crease due to supplier breach. This one about the cybersecurity, the weakness. So you just go to the next slide. Okay, regarding for this slide, strategy planning that for Toyota, the alternative sourcing, inventory strategy, communication plan. So the alternative, for example, like can choose other supplier for the company, and then for inventory, just using a technology, for example, RFID and other technology for my efficiency, and communication plans with, for example, like EDL for the supplier and for the EDI, and then for the production, sales and logistics for the communication. So that can avoid any problems, disruption, and make communication plans. For this slide about resilient building measures for Toyota, for example, security enhancement and usage digital tools and AI. For this one is cybersecurity. For the cybersecurity that prevent the digital disruption and prevent the supplier cyber attack in companies. So otherwise is usage of technology tools and AI, for example, Internet of Things that forecast to continually checking the current state of supply chain in companies, so that this one can make a more efficient of company. For others point, resilient building measure for Toyota, supply diversification and strategy in inventory buffer. For the supply diversification, for example, reduce risk in company. For example, like supplier facing to bankrupt, so that company can prevent this problem. So the strategy inventory buffer, example like implement JIT and additional stock, like high risk like a semiconductor, so allow for production to continue and make more efficient for the company and produce more. Example like new example like short terms supply delay. For this slide, diving into resilient strategy supply chain visibility platform for Toyota. They have three platforms, which is IoT device, ERP system, and dashboard. So all these items that they use are this platform to make sure that movement in the warehouse or stock in movement is a good system. For example, like for the ERP, for can relate to the demand or inventory, but IoT can relate to the real time tracking, and digital dashboard to relate the disruption or any problem. Um so that the all these system can make more efficient to the company. So the strategy to improve redundancy in Toyota supply chain, they have three strategy. For example, regional supply tools, inventory buffer, and flexible contracts. This one for different region. And then for example, like Toyota, they have a supplier from Japan and Thailand, and then have a semiconductor, and then after that they have a pre-approved alternative supplier or alternate supplier, so that if anything happen to the supplier, they can use another supplier, so that prevent any problem, and then make sure that the improvement they can implement in the company. So I just give to the next presenter, which is Aida.
Dr. Zawia, my name is AIDA NURAQILLA, and I will proceed with strategy to increase diversification. For the first part is geographic supplier diversification. For the strategy is purchase identical components from vendors operating in different countries or areas, like Toyota companies, and every types of component will supply in others country. For example, is source brake part from Thailand and India, and for the electronic part is from Taiwan and Japan. For the next part is dual or multi-sourcing of critical components. For the strategy is hire several vendors for the same part to avoid relying on a single supplier. For example, like use to different vendor for control or airbag inflators. For this part, it requires to make some backup for main supplier if the main supplier cannot supply the component that Toyota need. The next is collaborative risk sharing with suppliers. For the strategy is Toyota works jointly with suppliers to share investment in backup facilities, R&D and innovation. So contohnya kalau ada problem dekat komponen yang supplier tu buat, Toyota senang nak bagi tahu and nak buat proses R&D tu senang sebab supplier tu terus inform dekat Toyota, and Toyota pun kalau Toyota tu pun ada nampak problem dekat komponen tu, dia terus bagi tahu dekat supplier tu. So nak buat R&D tu lah, macam lagi cepat lah, and masa untuk inform tu lagi singkat. So untuk settlekan problem tu lagi senang. So like macam contohnya Toyota join ventures with new electronic suppliers in Southeast Asia. Next is develop localized supply chain. From that, set up a regional supply chain close to assembly plants, known as strategy. So for the purpose is cut down on transportation risk and custom delays, such as establish more North American supplier for US factories. Contohnya macam kalau orang yang company yang ada dekat North American tu, supplier dia orang based on US, so macam lagi senang dia orang nak import dan export barang-barang dia orang. So lagi ambil masa yang singkat lah untuk membuat penghantaran ataupun perbincangan terhadap produk-produk yang dia orang order tu. For the next is strategy to create demand forecasting in Toyota supply chain. For the first is use of advanced data analytics and AI. So the strategy is implement artificial intelligence, which is AI, and machine learning, which is ML, to analyze historical data and predict future demand. It can help to improve accuracy, pattern and trend from large data set. Example, predicting increased demand for hybrid cars in Southeast Asia based on environmental trends and sales history. So dengan kegunaan data analitik dengan AI ni, Toyota tu boleh target lah akan datang demand kereta yang dia perlukan tu untuk customer tu berapa banyak. Maybe disebabkan company-company lain pun akan keluarkan demand, akan keluarkan kereta hybrid tu. So Toyota ni pun akan target, kalau macam tahun ni dia keluarkan 50%, maybe next year dia akan keluarkan lebih tinggi ataupun kurang sedikit. Maybe sebab banyak company and jenama kereta lain juga dah keluarkan hybrid punya kereta. So maybe demand diorang akan bertambah dan juga berkurang. Dengan AI ni dia akan membantu company tu untuk predict lah berapa banyak kereta yang perlu dikeluarkan supaya tak membazir, ataupun jumlah komponen yang telah diorder ke supplier tu betul-betul cukup dengan kuantiti demand yang telah dikeluarkan oleh maybe sales department dan yang lain-lain. Next is integration of real-time sales data. For the strategy is connect dealer sales system to Toyota Central database. The purpose is allow forecasting to be adjusted quickly based on current market behavior. Example, detecting a sudden drop in SUV sales and adjusting production to increase sudden output instead. So dengan strategi yang telah diberi ni, maksudnya jumlah demand yang telah ditetapkan ataupun jumlah demand yang diperlukan oleh customer tu akan sampai dengan cepat kepada bahagian market. So maksudnya untuk keluarkan kenderaan itu kepada consumer tu akan lebih cepat lah. Tak adalah macam contohnya kalau kita nak beli kat kedai kereta tu, tapi dia kena macam pre-order, kena tunggu lama. Disebabkan mungkin sebab company tu dia tunggu demand yang banyak baru dia proceed order, ataupun mungkin komponen tak cukup ke untuk settle up satu kereta tu. The next is collaboration with dealers and distributors. The strategy is share forecasting and gather real-time input from Toyota dealership. The purpose is improve the accuracy of localized demand forecast. Example is dealer in Europe provide insight on rising demand for EVs which Toyota uses to plan manufacturing. So maksudnya Toyota ni dia buat collaborate dengan dealer, contoh dealer kereta lah. Contohnya macam mungkin dekat orang datang dekat dealer tu banyakkannya tanya pasal kereta EV. Mungkin dekat dealer tu tak ada, so dealer tu akan bagi tahu dekat company Toyota tu berapa persen customer yang cari kereta EV dan berapa persen customer yang tak cari kereta EV. So daripada situ Toyota punya company dia boleh fokus lah berapa banyak kereta yang perlu dia keluarkan dari segi EV ataupun tak untuk dipasarkan. For the last point for this strategy is customer behavior analysis. For the strategy is analyze customer preference, pre-orders, online configurations and social media feedback. Purpose dia forecast what models, color or features will be most in demand. For example, if many customer are pre-ordering cars with sunroof, Toyota can adjust supply planning. So maksudnya daripada sini, contohnya Toyota ni nak keluarkan kereta, tapi banyak customer yang komen dekat media sosial, why only black and white colour, they need others colour. So from that maybe ada 3 pilihan colour yang diorang letak, maybe red, blue or grey. So daripada 3 colour tu ada 2, mungkin 2 company Toyota tu akan keluarkan berdasarkan persen demand yang diperlukan oleh customer. Contohnya daripada 3 colour tadi tu, kelabu dengan merah paling tinggi. So Toyota akan keluarkan 2 colour baru tu, but if customer nak kena pre-order, kena tunggulah. The next point is strategies to grow digital transformation in Toyota supply chain. The first is IoT implementation. It used for sensors to track goods, monitor machinery and capture real-time data. It can improve visibility, ensure product quality and reduce delays. It also can sensors on containers, monitor part, temperature and location during transit. Maksudnya dengan penggunaan IoT ni, dia akan mungkin kita akan detect lah barang tu dah dekat mana. Mungkin kalau berlaku transportation tu berlaku kerosakan, kita boleh detect dekat area mana and senang untuk kita nak hantar orang untuk betulkan, dan untuk elakkan delay tu maybe kita akan hantar transport lain untuk bawa barang tu. The next is big data and predictive analytics. From that, analyze large set of data, identify trends and potential risks. It can enhance forecasting accuracy, inventory planning and proactive problem solving. For example, predicting part shortage by analyzing lead time and supplier performance. Next is blockchain technology. To create secure, transparent records for every transaction. It also can enhance multi-tier supply chains, authenticity, traceability and confidence. For example, to tracking the origin of lithium in EV batteries to meet ethical sourcing standard. And the last is cybersecurity reinforcement. To strengthen digital infrastructure to prevent cyber attacks. It because protects sensitive supply chain data and maintains operational integrity, such as regular cyber audits and access control system for supplier and patents. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad Aiman Johari. Today I will discuss how geopolitical instability affect global supply chains, particularly in the context of Toyota. As we know, tension between major nations like United States and China, as well as political instability in East Asia, have had significant impact on supply chain management. For instance, in this case of semiconductor, we've seen how trade disruption between China and Western countries have caused delay in the supply chain of raw material like semiconductor and rare earth materials. This has directly affected major companies like Toyota that rely on this component for their vehicle production. Additionally, issues like logistic problem and changes in trade policy have led to the disruption in shipment, while volatile currency exchange rates have affected raw material costs. All of these factors make it even more challenging for company to maintain smoothly supply chain operation. Making rapid decision to mitigate the impact. To manage the disruption, Toyota made three key decisions. First, in stage one, immediate response. Toyota immediately activated its risk monitoring system and emergency protocols. This included rerouting critical shipment and using buffer stock for essential components. Second, in stage two, stabilization and short-term recovery. Toyota utilized its flexible manufacturing system, included just-in-time with just-in buffer, to reroute supply chain, use alternative supplier, and adjust production schedule. Lastly, in stage three, long-term resilience and adaptation. Toyota took a more strategic approach in investing in digitalization and expanding its supplier diversification to reduce future risks. Reflect on each decision in long-term resilience. Let's now reflect on each decision Toyota made. In stage one, immediate response, the decision to use buffer, stock, and reroute shipment highlighted the importance of contingency planning. Toyota learned that although this approach worked well in the short term, its revealed over-reliance on specific region for high-tech components, especially semiconductor. In stage two, short-term stabilization. Toyota's ability to adapt production line negotiation with suppliers showed the strength of its collaborative culture and flexible manufacturing system. However, these short-term solutions were resource-intensive and not suitable. This revealed that long-term resilience requires stronger partnership with multi-region suppliers, not just short-term workaround. Finally, in stage three, long-term adjustment, Toyota began diversifying supplier location and investing in digital platform to improve transparency. This market strategy pivot towards creating a more resilient, self-reliant supply chain that will be better withstand future disruption. Lesson of the day. From the Toyota experience, we can derive three key lessons. First, diversification of supplier. In the real world, companies like Toyota reduce risk by using multiple suppliers from different regions to avoid dependency on a single source. Second, digitalization for real-time monitoring. Many industries are now implementing IoT and ERP systems to track shipment, supplier status, and stock level in real time, enabling quick response during disruption. And third, strategic inventory buffering. By maintaining safety or stock just in case inventory, especially for critical components like semiconductor, business like Toyota to ensure continued operation during crisis events. In conclusion, we can see how Toyota adopt the changing of environment and learn from the every decision made. This provides us with an important lesson in an increasing uncertain world. Resilience in supply chain management is not only about good planning but also flexibility and the ability to respond quickly. Thank you.